Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing platform and I thank you for being part of us at all time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to this very channel, kindly subscribe, like and share to all platforms, share to family and friends. Make sure that this information gets to every Biafran and every well-meaning person in the world. Keep on sharing, it is important. I'm going to share with you on this platform today a broadcast that is being made by the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. On X, it is very important. You are going to hear mind-blowing informations coming from the Prime Minister. Please pay attention from beginning to the end, and at the end of the program, go to the comment section, put down your comment, say your own views and your suggestions. Let us listen to the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra.
The Biafra Republic Government in Exile goals, objective, and purpose is to organize the negotiation of trade and other economic activities on behalf of the people of Biafra. My fellow citizens all over the world, in order to achieve these goals, objective, and purpose, we have created the 40th state of the United States of Biafra in the homeland. We have activated the de facto government of Biafra in the homeland. We have established the Bank of Biafra. We have established the Biafra digital currency, among other departments and other governmental institutions, in accordance with international law, especially the 1933 of Montevideo Convention. It is also not unusual for there to be a period of years between exile and declaration of an exile government. We have had similar cases like that of the de facto Republic of Serbia. They went into exile in 1997, and the government was declared in 2005. And the case of the Turkestan Republic, the gap is far longer, with the exile government in 1949 and the declaration only in 2004. My fellow citizens, domiciled all over the world, fellow Biafrans and friends, well-wishers today, a legitimate government is the one that flows from a recognized state, as opposed to so many so-called government in exile. That is in reality a liberation movement. The good news today is that the Biafra Republic Government in Exile status has gone beyond a liberation movement under international law, as a result of the recognition from 5 different countries in Africa, which has never been withdrawn by those countries that recognized Biafra. This particular recognition made the status of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile not just a liberation movement, but a legitimate and a recognized government with a special status under international law. My fellow Biafrans, many experts on international law have opined that for an authority in exile to qualify as a government in international law, there are criteria which the government must meet and fulfill. We believe the Biafra Republic government in exile has met all those requirements. And I would like to take us a little bit on history. It is very imperative. Let's look at the precedents of history of government in exile. My fellow citizens, there are indeed precedents for government that achieve sovereignty during times of strife, obtained limited international recognition, went into exile, and were succeeded by declared exile government, and then eventually become independent and member state of the United Nations. I will take you to a journey of Slovakia. Slovakia was an independent state from 1939 to 1945. Slovakia was recognized by 29 different countries during that time. Following Slovakia's reintegration with Czechoslovakia in 1945, the former Interior Minister of Slovakia, Dukansky, set up a government in exile in 1947, which went through several transformations, just like the Biafra people today. As an exile government, the Liberation Committee was part of the Slovakia exile government, the Liberation Council, and finally the Slovak Congress, all advocating for independence, just like you have in the Biafra today. The same people, ironically, who went through this process today will tell you how Biafrans are not united, because we have different groups fighting for the same goal, which is the freedom of Biafra. In 1992, independence was achieved by the legislation when Czechoslovakia ceased to exist. Slovakia in 1938 to 1945 was viewed by the Allied nation as a German puppet state. The various Slovakian exile government and committee were not recognized by any single country, though doubtably many doubted whether they are going to have their independence, but they achieved some sponsorship from the United States. That was during the Cold War. My fellow Biafrans, it is very imperative that you know the history of this world. How many people that you look up to today, many nations that you look up to today, they were there in the past. I will then take you to a history, the journey to Ukraine. Ukraine is again going through the second phase, the most brutal phase in the history of mankind. Ukraine was an independent state from 1917 to 1922 and was recognized by at least 18 countries, including the Holy See, Russia, Germany, Turkey, and Austria. The head of the government, Simon Petliura, went on exile, declared an exile government, and was assassinated in 1926 in Paris by a Soviet agent when there was Soviet Union. In 1941, an independent state of Ukraine was briefly declared and then suppressed by Germany. Germany, not Russia. The unrecognized government in exile persisted until Ukraine again became an independent state in 1991. From 1941 to 1991, Ukraine again became an independent state. The Ukrainian government, under the former president Chochenko, over the protest of pro-Russian element, recognized exile leaders and the 1917 and 41 government as predecessors and precursors to the current state. The trend of Ukraine nationalism has further intensified under the present regime. Today, Ukraine is at war of independence again. I want you to understand the history in this world. Every nation have undergone a very, very terrible situation. From 1941 to 1991. My fellow Biafrans, if you do not understand history, you will not be a good revolutionist. You can never understand how you are going to fight for the liberation of your people. This is what the Biafra government is doing because we know the history. Not only that we know the history, we know our right. I want to take you to a journey to another nation called Croatia. Croatia achieved independence from 1941 to 1945. I want you to understand that the countries I am mentioning today did not actually have their independence completely from the beginning. Rather, they went through the same process with Biafra. Biafra had independence from 1967 to 1970. Croatia had independence from 1941 to 1945. During the excesses of the Second World War, when secessionists, exile assumed leadership of the country upon fall of Yugoslavia to the axis of power. Like Slovakia, many countries consider Croatia as a puppet state. Yet, it was recognized by not only the Axis state, but also by neutral Spain. Following the end of the war, an exile government was declared in 1951 by the former leader of Croatia, Ante Pavelic, and his surviving government ministers. In 1956, the exile government became a liberation movement and was instrumental in the eventual independence of Croatia from Yugoslavia in 1991. I want you to look and check the time frame when this country succeed after everything they have done. My fellow Biafran, Biafra is not going to be exceptional. We are not going to be an exception. Our right will not be exempted. Our freedom will not be exempted. We will get our freedom just like Croatia, Slovakia, Ukraine, and many more. Today, the message I brought to Biafra people is a liberation message. We have breaking the camel's back. The jinx holding Biafra for decades is broken. My fellow citizens of Biafra, taking refuge in exile, and those of you that are privileged to be in the homeland, de facto government today, going through the process and the achievement of the Biafra government today. I wish to officially announce the unveiling of the Biafra Bank, officially Bank of Biafra. And also announcing the launching of the Biafra coin, the digital currency, the Gemma, the USBT. We made a promise to Biafra people that the Biafra coin called USBT will be equal to $1. The process of this is not something that is very difficult to understand. Many of you back home already know what is cryptocurrency. You only need a MetaMask to be able to benefit from the Biafra Bank and Biafra coin. My fellow Biafran, restoring the Biafra government in exile, the next phase is to go forward to restore the Biafra government and independent state of Biafra after the result of the ongoing self-referendum. I would like to remind every one of you that you have enough to benefit from the Biafra Bank, from the Bank of Biafra, especially using the digital currency, Biafra coin. There is what they call staking. The staking, the Bank of Biafra offers 18% interest in staking, while many platform offers you, for example, as low as 5%. The Bank of Biafra is offering Biafra people 18%. And what it means is that as Naira has collapsed and crashed, the government of Biafra has provided an alternative to Biafra people. So you do not leave your money in Naira. As you buy Biafra coin, your money becomes stable. Any day you want to withdraw your money, you get your money withdrawn through the crypto system. For those of you who already are very conversant with cryptocurrency, you already know what to do by downloading a MetaMask. From MetaMask, you will have access to Biafra Bank. We have broken the jinx. The camel's back is broken. Fellow Biafrans, to cap with the progress we've made so far, Biafra Republic Government in Exile Cabinet met yesterday and voted for the establishment of the Ministry of Aviation of the United States of Biafra. I hereby wish to officially announce to the Biafra people the establishment of the Biafra Ministry of Aviation. Yesterday, the ministerial nominee to head the Ministry of Aviation was also voted and confirmed by the cabinet. A well-experienced pilot, a Biafran with many miles of flight, with experience in aviation industry, will be heading the Ministry of Aviation of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And may I introduce to Biafra people the name of the new Minister of Aviation of Biafra, Chidera Okeoma, has been appointed as the Minister of Aviation of the United States of Biafra. A very promising young Biafran who has distinguished himself honorably in his field of endeavor. My fellow Biafran, the achievement of this government within just 1.5 years is becoming a mystery. But because the Biafra people have suffered for decades, and God has decided to reward your suffering, your subjugation with this present government of Biafra that is taking you home to freedom. My fellow Biafran, as you all know, the Biafra Ministry of Justice were established and a new minister also has been appointed. Well-experienced young Biafran, very young lady, in the name of Jane Iwunze. Jane Iwunze has been appointed, confirmed by the cabinet, as the Minister of Justice. Fellow Biafrans, as we are making this progress, there are a lot of sacrifice behind the scene.
My fellow Biafrans, after watching this clip, I want you to be the judge for yourself. Go to the comment section and write on the comment section, tell me what you feel about this. I thank God for the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Biafran people are going to defend themselves. If it's going to take everyone out to defend Biafra, we will do that till the last man standing. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Liberation Army. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity and equity. We move airborne. Thank you, as they say.